Hi there, this is Tyler Dockery, and today I'm going to talk with you about pre-flighting your materials and how to make sure that your materials are done properly. Now, mainly this is for portfolio folks, but this could work for any class. So let's have a look here. First of all, here is an InDesign document. InDesign is the go-to for print. You can see we've got a direct mail piece. Here's the back with a customer section and an advertising section. In this, the line between the two sections I have replaced with small type. You can see here at 77% that the counters are open. This is because the type is larger than 5 points. Okay, you can see here by this designation, for those of you who care, that this is from 2011. It's the final version, revision C. Keeping the finalized documents and the revisions is a great way for you to look back and see how far you've come, or to revisit an old piece and get it fixed. Here's the front. You can see we've got some texture from this duck canvas, different types of type and photos in here. One of the things that we often come across is that we see that sometimes in a high resolution document we will see pixelated graphics in here, but we don't know where they've come from. Let's see if we can discover along the way. We know that we use high resolution work. So we want to go ahead and prepare this for print. So we're going to export. We're going to export. We're going to call it back to school mailer, and that's fine. We're going to replace the document. Yes, that's good. We're going to make sure that we are not optimized for the web. We are going to look under our compression. We're going to make sure that anything that's too big, say over 450, gets reduced down to print DPI. Get ready down to print DPI. We can see that the compression here is not JPEG. JPEG compression is not a good way for your files to look. We go with zip. They're slower saves and smaller files. Okay, when we're all done, we're going to export. If you see a note like this that the document has pieces that are missing or have been modified, don't continue. Go ahead and say cancel. We want to fix these link problems, and that's probably why this is all pixelated and nasty looking. So if we have our links panel, we can open it. If we don't have it, we can go to Windows and then Links. In here, if we see a red question mark, that means that we don't know where it is. A yellow triangle means that it has been updated. So just in case our document is so big we don't know where to find this graphic, we can choose go to the link. It'll highlight it and send us right there. We can use this chain to relink the graphic. This will pull up and, oh, it should be here, but of course it's not. So now we have to kind of play a little detective game and find it on our computers. Now it's moved out of the links and into the root folder here, so I know I can find it. I click on it. I see it's been recently changed. That's probably why. And then I'll choose open. It will relink for a second, and now there it is, looking nice and crisp. Everything looks good. This is a good time for us to save our document, and then let's go ahead and export it again. Export our document right back in here to this folder where it was before. Yeah, we want to replace it. We want to make sure all these things are still good, and then export the document. No problems this time, always good. We can see it's taking its sweet time, and now it's finished. So going into Acrobat, we can go into the files, we can open it, track it down on our machine. Here it is, right in the root. And we open it up. Oh, look how nice and sharp that is. So much nicer than those jagged lines. You can see this line has been replaced by text, but the counters are not so small that even here a little closer to 100% can't be read. The front cover here is still looking nice. I can see all of this duck and paint graphics, so that's a good show. And I think we're pretty much ready here, but we always want to check our work. So under Edit, we choose Preflight. You can pre-flight your work in InDesign, but it is not as good as this program. If it doesn't show up in Edit, you can use either Control-Shift or Command-Shift if you're on a Mac, and the letter X. So Control-Shift-X, and here we are in the pre-files. Now, we want to go to Press, but we can see that under the Essentials, there's not much for us to look at, really. So we want to choose Pre-Press. Now, Pre-Press, as you can see, gives us lots of things to choose from. We want magazine ads because we want big, beautiful graphics. We don't want RGB because that's for screens. We want CMYK because that is for press. And then we analyze it. Now, this may take a second depending on how big, and then we can kind of look and see. Some of these things, they're not important to us because we are not PDF X1A or X4 compliant. We don't have to worry about that. The number of pages is more than 1. We don't have to worry about that. Uh-oh, but this one, we've got something that's an RGB device. We got to see what that's about. Double clicking if there's only one, or dropping this down, will allow us to come, and it tells us which page. You can double click on it or hit this little show button. And then if it's a red X, it'll have a red outline. So we know that this is an RGB graphic at 300 DPI. Can't have that. This has flagged type that is smaller than 9, but we want to make sure it's nothing smaller than 5. So 5.6 is good, 8 and 7 are all good. And these are CMYK colors. So that's not something that we do have to worry about. But this graphic, we got to worry about that bad boy. So we just stop what we're doing. We close this out, go back to InDesign. We got to fix this graphic. In our case, we go to Photoshop. We need to open this red thumb graphic, which we know is right here, right? We linked it a little bit earlier, but this red thumb graphic has got to get fixed. So we'll open it up. There it is. Yes, thumbs up, buddy. Real quick, image mode, is it in CMYK? It's not. So we're going to change it to CMYK color. Thank you. And there we go. Still looks good. Everybody's happy. We can save this file. File save. Yeah, that's good. Now we've saved it. We're going to go back to InDesign. And you can see here in InDesign in our links panel, we have a note that this has been updated. So we need to either relink it or this update link. Boop. As soon as we click it, this looks fine again. This goes away. We can save this file. We can export this file. We'll just save it as the same name. If you wanted, you know, we could change this to the name D. Export it. Back in Acrobat, we're going to open. We're going to open revision D that we just made. Open it up. We're going to find this pre-press. If this had gone away, we could either go back to Edit Preflight or Control-Shift-X. Once it loads the first time, it pops up really quickly. So magazine ads, analyze, and everything seems to be fine. Text pages more than 1, not a big deal. PDF X4, not a big deal. Type smaller than 9, but not smaller than 5. This is good to go. And now we've got a perfect document. This one is ready to go to the printer. Now, just a little side note here. If working with Acrobat over the course of this semester seems like it's tough, that's because This is one person's job. That is all they do at a major print house all day, is pre-flight these documents, note what needs to be changed to CMYK from RGB or what fonts need to be fixed. And then they send that right back to the client. And they tell the client, we'll fix this for you for $75 an hour, $100 an hour, whatever their price is, with 30 minutes minimum. So just be aware that this is an essential skill for graphic designers. It's an essential skill for printers and people who like to work in print. Okay, that's what I've got for you. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out to your instructor, and by all means, design your future. Thank you very much, everybody, and I hope to see you again.